Welcome back and thank you for staying into. This is still the Press on KAFTAN television and we are broadcasting live from the nation's capital, Abuja. And right now I've been joined by two amazing people in the studio to help us analyze some of the headlines that made it to our national dailies. And by my right, I have Fowobi Desmond, who is a public affairs analyst and founder of People's Reporters NG. And of course, to my left is Comrade Duke Alamboye, who is the National President, Nigerian Youth Organization. Gentlemen, you're both welcome.
Thank you very
to
much.
the press.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to have you join us this morning.
It's a pleasure.
And now, also a gentle reminder that our phone lines are now open for you to call in to join the conversation or ask a question. Now to matters arising. Let me ask, what did you make out of the Supreme Court judgment yesterday concerning the local government autonomy?
This pronouncement by the Supreme Court, Justice Agim yesterday, is a landmark victory to the Nigerian people. This judgment is long overdue. At least we thank God it is a sigh of relief for us, because many Nigerians, especially people who have been interested in the political landscape of the country, have been eager to see this kind of restructuring. And not just a restructuring, that which is binding by law. As you all know, that the Supreme Court is the apex court of the Federation, and whatsoever thing they say or cough or mistakenly excuse out becomes a law.
Of course.
So now it has become automatic that every state governor should start looking at ways of generating money. The local government money would no longer be available for them for their selfish aggrandizement and exploitation. Now the money would now go to the local government. So I would advise, in the interest of growth and development, that the state government needs to set up committees, or even appoint a commissioner that monitors, or maybe a state auditor that monitors the affairs in local government, so we can have dividend of governance given to the people. And I want to also use this opportunity to congratulate, not the local government chairman, I want to use this opportunity to congratulate the local people, the people in our local communities, because this is a victory for them. What this would do to our nation is that it will drive what they call political participations at all levels.
All right, before I get to Comrade, sorry, we have a caller. Let's quickly hear from this caller before we move on. Good morning. Oh, we lost that caller.
I'm already thinking of going back to my local government.
Oh, really?
Not to contest this time around, but to drive political participation.
Exactly.
Because, you see, just like the president rightly put it yesterday, when he welcomed the judgment from the Supreme Court, he said, now, there are major projects he mentioned, such as road, drainages,
grassroots
development, certain infrastructures are within the ambit of the local government. Therefore, they should have the capacity, the financial capacity, to be able to respond to the yearnings of the people. Over the years, since Fourth Republic, that we returned to democracy, I tell you that it was not original. This is not how it was before. What governors does before now, before the Fourth Republic, is to help facilitate the movement, not withholding the money and giving back to the local government chairman what they feel like giving to the local government. But with this judgment, we want a direct transfer of this money. I still have some fears. In the course of these programs, I will put them out.
Okay, while we move on, Comrade, let me hear what you make out of this judgment yesterday.
Well, let me quickly support his cause by congratulating Nigerians.
Exactly.
Give kudos to the Supreme Court, like he rightly also observed, long awaited judgment, and in their careful nature, they dished out the yearnings of the people, the voice of the people, and again, want to say the common hope of the people democratically have been restored. So this judgment is going to give the local people sense of belonging. I've wondered, when state governors take one single project and make it holistic in a state. We have, like in River State, we have, where I come from, we have 23 LGAs. And then if a governor is embarking on road construction, it is not peculiar it is not common. Some local governments do not need road construction. Some needs agricultural produce. Some need agro systems. Some need the various industries. Some need education to thrive in their localities. So this has really been the issue: local development, local concern. Governors predict or execute projects in their whims and caprices without confining or confirming with the local authorities what are the basic needs. And sometimes we'll go down again to what these governors do. Most of the projects governors do are actually local government projects. You go and you go to an LGA, you do borehole. As a governor, you go down there to commission it. Is laughable. So I want to say that this will really give sense of belonging to local expansion, local development, local concern, and again, in his word, local engagement. People will now begin to feel for the first time that even accountability. They'll begin to also know that XYZ amount came to the local government, and hold also in return the local authorities in question, hold them accountable for those funds that comes in. Secondly, let's also look at the legislative part of it. We have flux of councillors sitting down, no delegations, because they visually have nothing to discuss about. What happens to the local government is they go to the governor, discuss with him, any stipends, basically maybe enumerations for the month, they pay that, and then say, okay, this is about this amount of money they give to them, and they go back to their LGAs, nothing is being done. So it will also now give good expansive avenue for the local legislators to also begin to sit down and deliberate which project, according to priority, such local government needs. So I think in all way you want to explain it, in all way you want to look at it, this is a good judgment for democracy, and you can see the feelers, Nigerians, even opposition parties are saying kudos to it. So I want to join on behalf of the Nigerian youths also to say we are thankful to even the federal government not to even go into the matter to be biased in the matter. They gave the free hand to the Supreme Court, the judiciary, and today the matter of receiving local funds, local authority funds on behalf of them by the governors have been put to rest. Quickly, I want to see physically governors in their nomenclature, in their ways, coming out to congratulate this job.
I was going to get to that, because there is this headline here that says
I've seen only what is his name? Soludo come out to embrace it. And this is people that in the antecedents, you know that they are very strong characters for development. So we want to see more of the governors come to embrace this, even though they are one shot. But one other thing I want to frown out.
My apologies, I'll interrupt you. Let's quickly hear from this caller. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Glad to have you join us on the press this morning. Where are you calling us from?
Yes, this is Akin, your regular caller from Lagos.
All right. Akin, glad to have you join us. Please go ahead.
Thank you. I'm very, very excited, very happy that eventually the Supreme Court of the Federal Republic of Nigeria have eventually passed that the local government have the autonomy on their funds. That is really commendable.
Yeah.
Then I commend the Attorney General itself for supporting that move, and the President himself, because you have to commend them when it's due. When you to criticize them, you are supposed to criticize them as well. This is a gigantic work they have done. But then I will say that the local government, there's something I want to point out now. We should not just be celebrating and forget of the fact that this local government, there are workers, so we have to be very watchful. There are workers that only go on Friday to receive salary. I hope it's not going to be like it is before. And this is the time the youth across local government in Nigeria, the whole Nigeria, whole youth, everybody will have to put our spotlight on these local governments, whatever you want to call them. What the funds needs to be done to be used for should be what it should be used for. And even the federal government, for us to commend them 100% in a 100% way, they have to also in one way or the other to monitor the local government. Hey, let me tell you, the fact that the funds supposed to go to the local government does not mean that 100% I trust the local government to manage the funds properly. Though Lagos, the state I am, I can recommend Lagos as doing very good, okay? But that is not to say we are not going to country. I'm passing this information to the whole youth of Nigeria and to the whole Nigeria. We must put our torchlight eye on them so that they will not do the same thing the way it has been when it was with the state governors or whatever. So like Alamboye say, I expect the governors. Look, the governors, the president, whatever, the way they are serving us. This is how it should be. We are not the ones serving them. Ideally, this is how it should be, right? So the governors, I expect them to commend this judgment.
All right.
Truly, if they really love the country, they should commend the judgment and they should let go of whatever. And they should also help us in checkmating the local government. We are going to checkmate them as well. We want to see development across the country. God bless Nigeria. Thank you so much.
God bless Nigeria, and thank you for calling. Yeah.
Okay. I was going to point out something very peculiar to this judgment, and that is politicizing this judgment. I want to make a sincere appeal. Of course, I'm going to do a press conference on this judgment within the week. I want to make an appeal, use this medium to make an appeal to the politicians, because I know they have a way around all these issues. They should allow the political system to settle itself. In my thoughts or in my thinking, what they might now begin to do is to force the elections to favor whom they can control within the localities. That is where this law will be ridiculed.
And you know the Constitution still gives the governors, that's the state governors, power to supervise the local government.
No. Supervision in Nigeria.
And of course, supervision can still mean
does not work.
But yeah, but before we go on, let's quickly hear.
It also means settlement.
Yeah, let's quickly hear from this caller before we continue. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, we lost that caller. But you have a point. You were saying something.
Yes, supervision in Nigeria is not like the caller said. The supervision shouldn't be from only the state government. It should also come from federal government that is giving out the funding.
Yes.
Let us ask ourselves one penitent question. What supervision level does the federal government have over the state government? Number one. Number two, legislative officers, the legislation that were even given oversight functions. That is to say, please ensure that allocations that goes into your state are properly used by the authorities. So what happens when they go down to the states to carry out oversight function is normal gentleman settlement. So these are the flaws that this judgment is going to have. But vis-a-vis, we are glad, at least out of zero, the local government may be having 50 or 60% to actually consummate within the localities. I'm very sure of that the local government is not as big and as wide as what we anticipate. So if physical or services from the local government allocation is being done, the local people will see it. And like you rightly said, I don't blame civil servants at the local level. They virtually have nothing to do than to take salaries, because no projects, nothing is happening, no educational fund, no seminars, nothing, no promotions. So they are just dormant. But with this, I know that we're going to have, even at the local secretariat, we're going to have very active membership strength. Of course, when money is in the system, everybody want to come and see where they can be useful and meaningful and end very well. So I think, to wrap my opinion on it, very fine judgment, but we should not politicize this judgment.
All right, nobody is dumb, but let me withhold that statement, and that's we don't use such on air. But there is this headline that says, while local governments have not escaped powerful clubs of governors. I think you made a point when you say that during election they might want to put someone who they can control, just like what is beginning to, or what we see to be playing out in River State. But we'll get to that.
No,
but
let me come to that.
What is
you see, let me tell you, governments, they are supposed to be agents that drive development. That is ideally. But in reality, because of the corrupt tendencies of human beings, you find out that people you have elected in positions of authority and influence have always used that for their selfish growth and aggrandizement. Now, coming back to the reason why we have policies and why we set up agencies, committees, and all that, why we have oversight, is because there is this sociologist. He said power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Okay.
Therefore, there has to be check and balances. I think it's Aristotle or Kamas who make that position.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at the federal settings, we have police that even police the people in government. We have the ICPC, we have the EFCC, and so many more others, and the people. Now, we need to call on Nigerians to see themselves as the #1 driver for development, negating government at this time.
Okay.
When you do your due diligence to elect good people, that is not all. You are a citizen not because you are born in a country. It's a privilege.
Okay.
You are a citizen by the time you start taking part in the democratic development, in driving governance and development in that particular locality. That's what makes you a citizen. A citizen have rights and responsibilities. One of your responsibility as a citizen is to ensure you ask questions. Doesn't take much to ask questions. And therefore, we need to start educating people on what they call political organizing. We don't do protest in 21st century to drive good governance. All that you need is to organize. Have a secretary, have a chairman. 4 people is enough to drive development in locality. Now, I want to call on Nigerians to see themselves as agent of change and partner in the development of the Nigerian project that we are bringing on board. This judgment has set tone for the development of this country, and I know why. I've engaged in different fora and I've given out different opinions. In aggregating my opinions this morning, I will say to the people, right now it is time for you to get involved and be part of the leadership of your community. The local government, I know my local government, I know my ward, I know my local government chairman to his father, I know him to his children, I know his wife, I know what his wife does, the catering business that his wife does, and I know that he cannot leave my locality and travel to Ikeja or travel to Abuja that he wants to stay. No, he will come back to his house. I know his house. His house is about 3 buildings to my house. Okay. That tells you that this is the closest government to the people, and that is where you can have development. For over these years, Nigerians have not been able to develop. Reason being that the states, the local government always complain that they don't have money. I've written a lot of recommendations on how we can drive development, how we can attract investors, how we can set up tourist center with what God has given to us, but we have not been able to do. Not that these papers are not in the local government, they are there, but they don't have the capacity. What is the capacity? Finance, money. Now that there is going to be money in their covers, people will not have the moral obligation and audacity to ask them to give probity, accountability, and account for the money that is given to them. Now, I told you earlier that I have some fears. Part of the fears is what the governors will be doing in the next few days and the next few months. You know, before now, what governors does is to appoint their stooge and put in the position of the local government chairman in different states. So you don't expect governance, you don't expect them to be subject or to give ear to the people. They only give their sovereignty and respect to the governor. They don't care about the people at the local level. Now, beyond this local government autonomy is about the local government elections. Must be free from state coordination. It must be coordinated by independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. And then the office of the EFCC and the ICPC should be resident in every local government in the country. The 774 local government that we have in Nigeria, we must start having active EFCC member as well as active ICPC officials that ensures that even the local government chairman sit well. You see, human are human. Politics is local. Governance is local. When you say federal government, see, you are trying to reduce your problem when you try to solve the problem at local level. Okay. The pressure that is on the president is too much. So I am very sure that the presidency, the federal government are so happy today because absolutely most state governors are not doing anything.
Yes.
Like he said, that how would you prioritize a particular, it's not peculiar, it's not popular. How, you don't know my problem. You've not actually tried to understand my pulse as a local person. You're bringing in a project that suits you because of your interest, and then you want me to celebrate that. No, we are going to start seeing difference, or we are going to start seeing changes right now. And please run away from this ideology that somebody will tell you that that they are scared of local government. Are you not scared of the president? Or are you not scared of the governors?
We have a caller. Let's hear from you.
I don't know how human beings.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Glad to have you join us on the press. Where are you calling us from?
Yeah, my name is Chris, calling from Lagos.
All right, Chris.
Yeah, it's a nice thing from the federal government, you know, giving autonomy to local governments. I would say, I think 60% or 65% of the job has been done.
Exactly.
We still have more to be done. The next thing to be done is, I still think this complete autonomy has to be given to these local government chairmen when elections are being conducted directly from the federal government, especially talking about the INEC taking care of the election. Because if you leave it in the hands of the state, then the state governors will still be in charge. The local government chairmen will always be subservient to the governors if this is not taken care of. Because a whole lot is happening in our local governments. No development. And if the governor does not take responsibility or just dish it out this information to say, okay, this is what you will have to do, you should do this, I have to let you know what to do and what not to do, then these local government chairmen will not do anything on their own. That autonomy will not still be there. That's part of the concern. Another thing I also see from this angle too is a good thing that the federal government haven't entered into this to see how development will go to the grassroots. I think the youths have to also rise up to speak up, to especially what they really need in their locality. I quite understand the concern of Desmond, and he's quite right to say that, of course, he knows his own local government down to his family. And that is why that's a good thing that at least every youth should also, imbibe. If you know your local government chairman down to their family, then you should be able to, hold them accountable when things are not done. Mr. Chairman, please, why haven't things been done? And I realize that money has been dished out for this. Why hasn't it been done? Now, you remember some of the allocations too go straight to the state coffers. I think that also has to be reduced. The president has to also work on that to ensure that these monies go straight to the local government chairman coffers and not the state government. Because if that is done, then of course the state government will also get to take their share, and whatever is given to the local government, that's because states. I heard of course, going through the, some of the comments yesterday. I don't know, former governor of Delta State, James Ibori, saying that, we have 2 tiers of government. When did that come up? Where is that coming from? That we have 2 tiers of government, federal and state. Where is the local government? So we now have 2 tiers, no longer 3 tiers. So I think there has to be a political will from the governors to accept this legislation, this Supreme Court decision that local government chairmen should be autonomous.
All right.
That political will has to be there for them to accept with the federal government that yes, we quite because they can say that on the face value, but in their action, it is not working out. So a great work has to be done on this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chris, and do have yourself a great day.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks.
All right. I think, gentlemen, apologies, our time is fast spent, but let's just dive into a little into this minimum wage. This headline here from Nigerian Tribune says, Tinubu meeting with labor leaders, no deal yet on minimum wage. meeting to reconvene in 1 week. And my question exactly is this meeting not long overdue yet?
You see, the LNLs, the Nigeria Labour Congress, and the TUC, Trade Union Congress of this country, the reason why that meeting does not produce a particular announcement yesterday is because they're also responsible to some people. They have to go back to their caucus and whatsoever that have been discussed with Mr. President, they will have to digest it, give report back to the people who put them there to see if it is acceptable. I know that the federal government is working out something. I know Asiwaju to some extent. He is a father figure and is interested in the.
When you say the federal government are working out something, let me believe. Now let me believe it's to, of course, to the interest of Nigerians.
The federal government
if you say
in progress.
If you are saying that the federal government is working out something, why the federal government is the Nigerian Labour Congress is proposing 250 or 16,000 naira. Why the federal government is saying what they can offer is 62,000 naira. Now look at the economic crisis. How do you explain the fact that the federal government is working out something better?
You know, in the course of negotiation, any amount you hear being mentioned is not what has been agreed on. So don't even hold that 62,000 as something that the federal government, they are still negotiating. It is still negotiation. It has not been pronounced. They are still negotiating. And now, you need to understand that at the end of the day, there has to be compromise. And that is where political interests of the country must be put in what? In tandem. Now, what has happened in Aso Rock yesterday is that, my dear brothers and sisters, we are partner in progress. Without the workforce, there is no federal government. Without the federal government, there is no workforce. We are partner. So now, let not argue or debate and maintaining the competitive position, but let's compromise.
All right, I'll come back to you. Comrade, what is your opinion on
this? I think I owe a very different argument on this. I don't believe in a bourgeois increment. I don't believe in I believe in a sustainable wage. But do you
think federal governments cannot pay the Nigerian Labour Congress 250,000?
Federal government can even pay 1 million per citizen. Now, I'm sorry, sir. Federal government can pay 1 million naira per people. But what are the indices effects? Inflation, key, international, what I call international interference financially. These are the problems that will be associated with this bourgeois demand. I want to agree with the president that they should come to an affordable here is not the money, is affordable amount that will not affect price of goods going up, inflation. Price of production going up. That is what the presidency is talking about. If we don't take care of that, they will do a minimum wage of 2 million, and 2 million will become nothing. The valuation of the naira will lose its value. So we should be very, very, very observant of our demand. What I am recommending is an affordable minimum wage and price control mechanism. Now give us an affordable minimum wage. Give us. Now, federal government should look at production. These indices are all there. Cost of production. In all the time they are doing this meeting, they would have also set up a small committee to run around our local production line and see what is the cost of even producing rice. What is the cost of even producing yam? Who is producing? When they put these indices together, it will slip us down to what is affordable for a living. But mind you, we can't talk about production or farming. Of course, the production you're talking about now is relating to farming, but we can't talk about all this without good security. Hold on. I'm coming to that. Because even at the moment, what contributed to the food economy or food scarcity we are currently experiencing is because farmers are not able to go to their farmlands because of insecurity. That was going to be mine. Number one, I said price mechanism. Number two, fight insecurity very well, very, very well. These are factors that affect production. Good production will reduce dependency. Activities and production will increase productivity. People will earn well. Earning will become meaningful. The naira will have its value. They are all interconnected. Let me give you a local illustration. How do you determine what makes up your child living in a boarding school? you consider is immediate activities in the school, true or false. It is on that activities that you can now say 10,000 naira is good for you monthly as in this boarding school. That is what to be playing at this level. They should take cognizance of price mechanism. If not, anything that is increased, the producers will also follow suit. If they cannot do that, they should also checkmate insecurity. Our production level had gone down so drastically that it is affecting even what you have, because we are even using the scarce resources to also chase scarce goods and services. Most times you don't even see rice to buy. The rice you see to buy is even more expensive. So in just opposing what they are trying to do, yes, the minimum wage should raise, for the fact that even for so many years nobody has talked about the welfare of civil servants. I also agree that they are majority of the civil service forces in the country. Their increment also affect the private sector. Now, you cannot also do this without considering the private sector. When you increase it, what have you done to the private sector? You've increased their productivity level high, cost of production. They will tell you, okay, well, we have to take more to produce more. So these things must go pari passu. I still insist in every forum I've sat down to talk. Yes, increase minimum wage. As they are doing that, government should also look at price mechanism. What do we do to curtail our local pricing, our imported goods pricing? What are the orders? What are the orders around the goods we import? Too much taxation, illegalities around that area. All these are the things that increases the price of a commodity. Government, that is security too, providing those things. They should look at all those lines. Hence, my brother and sister, 1 million naira minimum wage will mean nothing in the next 2 months.
All right, gentlemen, our time is fast spent, but before we go, let me ask you this. I heard you mention about like we know building a nation is a collective effort, and you made mention of getting close to the local government chairman. At least now that the autonomy has been granted, you talk about youth getting close to the local government chairman. But the question is, over time we've seen about not too young to rule. The youth is the leaders of tomorrow and the rest of it. But how do you think? Are you certain that these youth are prepared enough for political hits or for political activities? And that being the case, give us a few words, like a wrap up before we go. How you think the youths can get involved and at least help the federal government to build a conducive nation and environment.
It was the Bible who said that teach a child the way it should go, so that when it grows, it will not depart from us. That is where the essence or the importance of education comes in. You see, when a child is not properly educated, let me put it in a way that it suits this question. When the youth of a particular nation are not taught, are not groomed, mentored to be effective, responsive, and sincere leaders, and the best way to teach is through example. So I want to join everybody together right now. Our leaders should be a shining example. From Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to the last person. We should try to be a model of good governance, because most young people today seems to have lost it because of the issues that are the antecedent of corruptions and corrupt activities that have surrounded the political environment in this part of the world. So if we can start getting it right from the crops of leaders we have everywhere now, the federal government, the state government, and the local government, I tell you, the young people will learn directly from them and become what? Become example or ambassadors of good behavior and corrupt-free tendencies.
No, comrade, in nation building, what role do you think the youth?
Well, that is purely my consistency. I want to tell you with full confidence that the youths are involved, seriously involved. It is the agitations of the Nigerian youth that is bringing out all these amendments you're seeing. Don't forget, the elections, the 2023 elections, gave a tough fight to even the president, more to the president. So you will see that everything he is doing is also bringing up youth inclusivity, youth inclusiveness in it. We are very involved. I want to thank technology. We are using the social media front to fight the excesses, illegalities of government at every level. Let me tell you, somebody, a caller called and he said, the youth. Now, what will happen to local government? You'll be amazed when the local government chairman receives his revenue and have not done anything. In every locality, we have at least 2,000 persons that are on media every minute. Every good thing you do goes into this media space. Every bad thing you do goes in, and these things are propelled by the youth. So we want to thank the Nigerian youth for the effort they are making towards good governance. We are also in the political space. Almost, from our research, almost 78% of Nigerian youths are in local government authorities today. They are in state government authorities today. They are in federal government authorities today. Today, there is a caucus committee, a caucus group in the National Assembly called the Youth Young Legislators. And that is because we fought tirelessly for not too young to run bill, and it came to pass. So we are very involved. We need to get more closer until we take over our country. The days they say that the future of the Nigerian, those days are gone. We are in governance. In time past, me and you will not have the opportunity to sit on television. It is our elites that sit on television. Today, technology, awareness, education has given us the opportunity. We are sitting down, boldly discussing the affairs of our nation. It means a lot to us, and we are not going to be, we're not going to retire until we get to that future we're looking at.
Can you also add that the local government should be left for the youth? Because that's where you are.
That goes back to this pure legislation.
Exactly.
You have to say that they should be for the young people. I don't believe in living. I believe in we should take it.
Comrade, give us a clue of what the crisis that has been going on in your state, particularly the River State, has been. Because of course I was going to sign out, but I just remember, oh, you are from River State, and you've spoken so much. You've spoken with so much with passion about nation building, the youth getting involved, and of course good governance. Now give us a clue of what has been going on, of course, that has ceased to stop.
Well, I think it's a fight within the gladiators, and this fight, like I said outside camera, if you look at the both sides, they all make sense. If you look at the complaint from the minister, it made sense. If you look at complaint from the governor, is making sense. But in
what is the complaint from the minister?
Please, it's very
what is the complaint?
Now, politically, the minister had done so well for River State. Everybody in the country knows that, and that earned him that nomenclature, that nickname, Mr. Project. Secondly, in River State, a particular region, the riverine area, have been so maligned, and in his exit, he, including me, it was a serious advocate. The minister, who was then the governor, ceded power to that region. Number three, if you take a look at Lagos, they have produced and become an astounding state. As Lagos is today, if they want to leave Nigeria, the entity called Nigeria, they have all it takes to stand alone. What has necessitated and what has favored that process is continuity. Let us count from when the president today, while he was governor, when he left till today, it has been continuity. So the minister understands what continuity means to development. If you look at it critically, he has been able to finish some very good aspect. His world-pronounced development was infrastructure. So therefore, he's feeling that let some other person come in and take over certain other bargains. So that development, other growth, other areas, which his 8 years could not cover. He looked carefully and didn't pick corrupt politicians like him, or politicians like him. Let me not undermine anybody. Politicians like him. He chose a technocrat. In choosing him, I and you know that they always sit down to play the cards. The cards have been played. Now, people that are not favorable, politics has engulfed the reasoning. We saw what Fayose told the governor. It's a word for thought that the governor should hold. If the minister didn't do well in River State, believe me, he has no hands in Rivers State. But because of his antecedents, I know that he meant well for Rivers people. Let me tell you something. Every other thing have not been legally said. The allegation of the minister holding him for funding. As mere speculation, the governor has not come out. Who is my friend? I've asked privately. I've not come out to say that the minister is holding him ransom to give him state budget. That is not true. What I know is that politically, when a governor comes in, it is always not too conducive to hold grip of him. It's natural. Alamboye versus Tinubu. But they cut across a line where, because of the majority of both parties, the godfather retrieved and allowed governance in his way to go on. Presently now, the FCT minister is still in power. There are also legislative, legal issues on ground. That is the state assembly and the governor. These are clear instances. One want to discuss these things, we should be thorough about it. Now, my own problem again is that these issues are truncating development in the state. I want the governor to rather concentrate on governance. I'm the president of a national youth body in this country. I know even in my cabinet today, this morning, I know the issues I've discussed. But once you derail and not focus yourself on development, you will begin to derail. And politicians, it's like honeycomb. Now, as a governor, he is carrying the comb. So people are around him. My brother, mate, about what people do to do transition. Immediately that comb is gone.
All right, for the sake of time, you come back.
I'll come back to this.
You come back, exactly.
You have not told us, sorry sir, what is the complaint?
Exactly, but we are out of time. We are out of time. We are going to bring him back to come and explain this. You are certainly coming back, of course, to this video.
Wike eating up the politics.
Wike is not eating up the politics. There's a
why is Wike disorganizing and destabilizing?
No. You cannot say that. You don't want to do that to him. Hold on.
But it's destabilizing. Can you hear me? We have commissioners that are. Can you hear me? We have House of Assembly members that are pro Wike and pro governor.
Wait. My question is, Wike still a loyalist of the People Democratic Party? Is he still a member of the People Democratic Party?
Oga, pro Wike nomenclature, pro Sim nomenclature. Are people?
It's not people. Wike said that.
Sorry,
I come and disorganize my structure. I work out to build a structure. What is the allegation on the order?
Have you analyzed that?
Let me give you two positions of the governor.
Have you analyzed that?
I have heard the governor spoke, and I'm surprised he didn't tell you. The governor has said in so many occasions that he cannot allow anybody from outside Rivers to come and have overstretching influence.
That means he's still relevant.
Hold on.
He's still even though he has left power.
When you talk about structure here,
yes,
you talked about a local government.
And he has done his 8 years.
Can I also talk? He's a stakeholder in the state. No. Not rule him off. No, nobody do that. And let's also forget that he is a leading factor. Don't also forget that he is spearheading the train. Even though there is problem now, does not mean that you take those principles off it. It's not easy. Let me tell you something. Politics, we are coming to leadership position, and we'll discuss someday. I'll call you on board and discuss all this today. Politics is structural.
My brother,
that is the truth.
Wike, the only
nobody
governor.
I'll certainly bring you back to discuss this.
That's the only governor that produced a successor. We have 37 governors.
It has happened in so many states.
Of course, but Desmond, we just have to. I don't know why people are overblowing it. We have to go, but
we get to the best of our knowledge. What's good thing for the states?
But what the position of Bola Tinubu had issues.
How long have you ever talked now?
Bola Tinubu is not talking. And Alamboye start from Loma. You know what?
These are lawful, and the court is on it.
All right, gentlemen, we have to. Apologies, we have to go, and at this point this is where we come to the end of the program at the press on KAFTAN television, and I hope you had yourself a swell time. And until we come your way some other time, keep watching KAFTAN television, and don't forget to also follow us on all our social media platforms on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and of course on Facebook at our KAFTAN television. I remain Mercy Emelite. Do have yourself a great weekend. Bye.